Well, hello there, Gemini. How are you? It is so good to see you. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. So today we are doing your mid-February reading. We'll take a look at the overall energies with the oracle cards, and then we'll move to the tarot in order to find some more details about any areas of resistance or obstacles on your path, and of course, advice from Spirit. All right, so let's go ahead and begin with your animal spirit card, Crow Spirit, co-create with Spirit. Okay, this one's almost like giving me tingles, Gemini. You've had this energy for some time that something kind of like big is happening for you. And with the Crow Spirit, it really is letting you know that Spirit, the divine, your spirit guides, your angels are really coming in strong at this time. They're almost like showing me like, I guess it's called a flock of crows, kind of like, you know, coming in. You could feel at this time, you know, there's a sense that you're highly protected. You know, also a sense that you may be having like sleepless nights, or just this energy of feeling like you're getting a lot of downloads or something like that, because I feel like there's this energy, something's coming in for you. Yeah, wise leader, you are a beacon for others. You know, I feel like your spirit guides, your angels are coming in, letting you know that this is the time. If you have been waiting for some time to take action on, you know, however this might mean for you, starting your own spiritual business, you know, just starting to open up and speak your truth to the people that are in your life, being honest with yourself about the wisdom that you have within, and that it is coming to that time where you're not going to be able to hide it anymore. You know, it's stepping into that energy of, okay, this is who I am, and it's time for me to step into that path. Sometimes that is really kind of almost like a daunting feeling. That's how what I feel here. Like a daunting feeling, wondering, you know, am I going to be doing this by myself? Who's going to be on this path with me? Your angels, your spirit guides are there with you every single step of the way. All right, so let's go to the tarot, and we're going to take a look at your present energy. All is in perfect timing. Yeah, I feel like, oh my gosh, this is really giving me like goosebumps. Is recognizing that everything you have, you know, been through on your journey, okay? All of the difficult times, all of, you know, the conflicts with other people, you know, the relationships, the obstacles, the disappointments. It's almost as if you are seeing now, almost clearly, okay, that all was meant. It was all in divine timing to bring you to this point where you are stepping into the wise leader. It's like being able to clearly see the big picture of everything that has happened. Yeah. It's amazing. And then this building block, it kept trying to pop out when I was shuffling, and I just kept kind of putting it in because it wasn't really all the way popping out. And here it is on the bottom. Okay, so the underlying of the tarot deck is really about the things that are occurring behind the scenes that you can't see, the energies that are building behind the scenes. I feel like there is something, Spirit is coming in, helping to build this strong foundation for you. I feel like everything you've been through is helped to build this strong foundation, because it is now time for you to be stepping into this energy of being a wise leader. Now, you know, this reading is good from now until about mid-March, but I believe it's March 23rd that Pluto goes into Aquarius. For a lot of you, this could be the time where you are starting to realize that as Pluto transits into Aquarius, opening up to your spiritual gifts, your talents, your creative abilities, that you are being asked to help with that Aquarius energy to heal on a grander level, you know, to reach larger groups of people. Oh my gosh, this is all major. Well, it's not all major arcana. You have the Ten of Swords here, but I feel like something that I feel like you've already had something come to an end, but it's also understanding that you're coming out of a cycle of a lot of difficult endings, right? Whether those are endings in relationships, endings in situations, endings in careers, endings in your your beliefs, your conditioning of beliefs over a long period of time since you were born, right? It's about, okay, that process is over. It's kind of like, in Gemini, that process of endings is over. It's almost like this rush of, seriously, is it really over? And yet at the same time, I think if you're resonating with this reading at all, it's kind of like, yeah, I've felt for some time that the ending was either here or really close, the ending of a difficult time in your life. And for a lot of you, that could be the last 10 years, It could be for some of you, because the community card here is that number 8. It could be since 2008, and that is when Pluto went into Capricorn. So now Pluto is transiting into Aquarius, and I feel like the community is now the community stands for the people, the audience that you are going to be a wise leader for. Whether that's just your family members, right? A soul tribe that you are gathering, perhaps, starting a YouTube channel or something like that, and recognizing that you can reach a larger community outside of just your home base using the internet, whether on social media or YouTube or something like that. For some of you, it could mean that you're actually traveling to a new location where you feel like your message would resonate really well, helping to build community, because it says, oh my gosh, I didn't even read this. It says, trust in divine purpose. This experience has divine meaning. Healing will come. Know that you are on a path of growth. And I feel like all of these endings have been part of that path of growth, of understanding, almost like seeing the wiseness once again of all of those endings, and recognizing, wait a minute, those endings didn't just happen because they were endings to happen, right? That it was just karma playing out or something like that. They had a purpose to them. Those endings were lessons for you to garner what it is that you truly want in your life with the 9 of Cups. So what are you dreaming of? Understanding that all of those endings were helping to remove those cloaks of conditioning that you have had since childhood, and looking clearly at what your 9 of Cups is. And believe it or not, your 9 of Cups is stepping into this energy of being a wise leader. It is about overcoming all of that conditioning and recognizing, oh my goodness, this is my purpose. This is my divine purpose. Everything that's been on my path has been on my path in order for me to have the empathy, the experience, right, to be a wise leader. And your audience, whoever, you're thinking, however, whatever modality, whether you're writing or painting or coaching or starting a YouTube channel for, right? Your audience is going to be people that have had similar experiences that you have had. That's why, you've been through those experiences so you can have empathy. You can help other people to heal because you've gone through your own healing process. I have met so many people recently. I do personal readings, and I've met so many people recently that have had difficult paths, but are now recognizing that was on their path in order to step into this energy of being able to help other people heal. So, oh my goodness. Yeah, this is just, and justice is coming in. I feel like somebody, sabotaged you in the back, stabbed you in the back, left in the middle of the night, left you, and even if it wasn't truly in the middle of the night, left you a little bit high and dry. And I feel like there is this energy of you have overcome that. That was one of the difficult endings. You could have had several of those situations in your life. Understanding that by going through that, you had to find your own balance. You had to find your own justice in that. It wasn't about seeking justice against that person. It was taking that energy and recognizing that you were being called to find some healing balance within yourself. And you've done that. And that is why you can step into this wise leader. Yeah, it is about standing strong in your truth. And I'm going to say, we have Saturn moving into Pisces. We have Pluto moving into Aquarius. There's this strong energy. I have felt it for some time. It's almost like you're being questioned at this very last time. It's almost like this tribunal. Like you might be like, but I'm the only one holding up my sword, right? There's all these people that are clashing against you. That is to help almost like birth you into standing, being the wise leader, and recognizing you may have to do this by yourself for a short time until you start really attracting in the people that are meant to be on your path. Because look at, you had the Chariot, you have the Queen of Pentacles, moving forward very quickly, being able to take a good financial care of yourself, having that financial stability, creating a loving, nurturing home for yourself, and also taking really good care of yourself, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, finding that balance within yourself. I feel like some of the situations you've gone through, right, could have kind of like knocked you off your game. Okay, either physically, you could have had an illness, right? Or mentally, you could have had somebody that betrayed you, right? Or emotionally, somebody left in the middle of the night. Or spiritually, you could have been at that moment where you were on your knees, just not really understanding why all of this was happening. But you found your balance. You worked through it. You overcame the obstacle. Whether you realize it or not, okay, this is at the end. This is truly at the end. All of the drama around endings or the fear of more endings. I feel like this 5 of Wands is really kind of like your own mind, kind of like rehashing difficult endings in the past. But in this time, you're looking at these endings because you have the 10 of Swords twice, right? Tens mean you're at the end of the cycle. And now it's kind of like stepping into this, understanding that the Moon card is the divine coming in, recognizing that this was all part of your divine purpose, and no longer fearing. The Moon card asks us to surrender, to understand that this is your path, to understand that all of this was not done to you, it was done for you, to give you the experience, okay, in order to step into your wise leader role. So let's take a look at your obstacle over this next 4 or 5 weeks. And remember, this is what you're overcoming. Yeah, deep knowing and death. Knowing, the death card I love, is the sense that something has finished out, right? You've had this ending of, I feel like you have an ending of a very difficult cycle in your life. Once again, probably either since 2008 or at least the last 10 years. But knowing that that cycle is over in order, because the death card is about transformation. Knowing that this bright new beginning is starting for you. That you, for some of you, the endings, okay, especially since we have 2 of them, it could have been endings in identities or roles that you have played in the past. Okay, so, you could be, someone that really, say you were a stay-at-home mom, or, you really put a lot of emphasis into your children, and now your children are grown and gone, right? That identity is gone. A lot of times that is a difficult transition for people. For others of you, you could have, ended a long-term committed relationship. It could have been either through divorce, or perhaps, the other person transitioned. For some of you, you could have lost a job, or your career suddenly, fizzled out. During the pandemic, it is kind of interesting how jobs change significantly during that time. You could have found yourself in an industry that kind of fizzled up overnight. And now trying to figure out what's the next step. Your next step is stepping into being this wise leader. So I feel like now you're at this point where you can take a look at the difficult endings that have happened in the past and see the wisdom that you have gained. Understand that all of those obstacles were in order for you to step into this wise leader role. And yes, you are correct. You have listened to your inner guidance and made a wise choice. Keep moving forward. Now, this is in your obstacle position. So I feel, Gemini, that you're kind of wondering, did I make the right decision? Because it's been so difficult, right? It has been so difficult. So sometimes when we have difficult things occur after a choice we've made or a choice somebody else has made, then sometimes we're like, am I on the right path? Which way do I go? It's about going back within yourself, listening to your own heart, listening to your own inner guidance, because at this time, your spirit guides and angels are really there for you, trying to help you to embrace the excitement of this new path. Okay, so let's take a look at your advice. The Hermit card, yes, going within and listening to your own wisdom. You are the wise leader. It could be that you're trying to seek out information from other people, but sometimes it is about listening to your own self, going within, listening to your heart, to your own inner guidance, right? I also feel like sometimes because I watch other readers, right? Like you probably have learned over the time that the whole reading, right, doesn't have to resonate with you. There's sometimes just one sentence that a reader will say, and you're like, ping, like it just really goes off. That whole, if it's a 15 or 20 minute reading and you only get that one ping was meant for you. When you feel that ping, that is your inner being, your inner spirit calling to you, letting you know, wait a minute, you don't have to, you take away the pings of a reading and the rest, is just not really meant for you. And that's okay. It's understanding. I think that came out in a reading you had a couple of weeks ago, that you have gotten good at understanding when you're receiving information, what is truly meant for you and what isn't meant for you. That takes a lot of wisdom. It could be in the past you listened to everybody in your life, or you listened to news or social media or read books or whatever. You garnered all that information because Gemini, you love to learn, you love information, but you were not filtering it at all as far as how you resonated with it. And I feel like that is the big step here, is that you're understanding not all information that comes into me is for me, right? It could be just one sentence is meant for me, but you're learning the difference between accepting all information and filtering it by what is true for you, stepping into your truth, realizing that not all information is meant for you. And that is a big change for you. Because when we realize we cannot possibly take all that information in. We're on information overload all the time, right? We can't take all of that information in and expect that all of that information is for us. So it really is stepping into your truth of recognizing, okay, what is for me and what isn't for me. And then using that information to go back within, okay, so that you can disseminate it, kind of like analyze it, but also kind of like make it your own so that you can then use that information along with your experiences, the difficult endings, the trials and tribulations that you've been through. You're taking in information, you're adding your own experiences, your own wisdom that you have garnered from that, and then you are able to help other people to understand or to heal based on what you have gone through. I also feel like there is this strong connection. When we go through difficult times, we become more we have more empathy for other people that are experiencing similar things to what we have experienced, So, and then let's see, don't give up on love. A relationship you cherish can be healed. Allow me to clear the way for forgiveness so that love can thrive again. I feel like, it is kind of interesting that you have the Ten of Swords and then you have the Death card. It is about radically accepting that something ended in the past, right? You're stepping into your wise leader, but then down the road, there could be a relationship that you had to leave behind in the past that may be healed. Now, Gemini, I'm going to say, I think if there is this situation where somebody is coming back, whether it's romantic, family, friend, it does not matter, right? If this person is coming back, they're a true soulmate, part of your journey, okay? It could have been a very codependent relationship. Part of your journey was ending that, right? And going your own way, becoming this wise leader, and then recognizing that this other person was also doing healing on their own on their own time, right? Behind the scenes. I feel like, this energy that I'm trying to find it, the perfect timing, right? That behind the scenes, your spirit guides and angels have been helping for this other person to also heal. So really lovely energy where, something that ended in the past, it does not mean that you're going to reunite, but to be able to heal that relationship is a big part of you also being a wise leader. And I'm going to say once again, if it's abusive or toxic, that's probably not the relationship you may want to reunite with or heal. But here's the thing, is that when we heal a relationship, we gain even more soul evolution than when we just walk away. Okay, so when we walk away, sometimes that is good for our own healing, but we make more soul evolution progress when we can work through a relationship and heal the situation. And when we heal that situation, we're also sending out healing energy to the collective. So I'm putting that out there for some of you that may resonate with. Okay, let's go to the Soul Truth cards. And Gemini, I do personal readings. So if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. I'd really be honored to do a reading for you. These cards are really wanting to talk. Okay, let's shuffle them up again. They keep showing me this one card, but let's see if it comes out. And it did. I love it when that happens. Am I afraid to be seen? Okay, so Gemini, you are a wise leader. You're stepping into this role, and part of maybe your area of resistance is not wanting to end, right, this past cycle and go through this transformation to step into your energy of being a wise leader. But I feel like you are being called. It's time to take a look at, what obstacles you have overcome. What have you learned on your journey? Who could you perhaps help? Right? Other people like you, and then stepping into how can you help them? I think I'm going to do a video on that because this message just really has been coming out so much lately about, your life purpose, stepping into, what we call your dharma, your purpose here on earth during this lifetime. So let's see. It says the world doesn't want you to hold back any longer. Time to shine your unique light on the world. You are made from love, and from love you are whole. There is no more hiding. There is no more shame. There is only truth. Live naked and free. Yeah. So I feel like, there is this energy of living naked and free, stepping into your truth, knowing that you are the wise leader. And that it is time for you to start planning, stepping into that energy of being the wise leader. This isn't something maybe you can do overnight, but what is the first step that you could do in order to embrace this new journey that you are on? Brand new cycle. Oh, Gemini, I'm so excited for you. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I really appreciate all of your support through liking, commenting, and subscribing. And I hope you have a wonderful day. And I hope to see you again really soon. Bye for now.